Yeah, g'day Bush Camping Tools here today. Well, I've got with me something really cool from FKMD. I've had my eye on this for a long time. This is their folding shovel. Let's have a look at it now. So, how does this work? It's really easy to actuate. Here, we've got a little thing to press. We can have various different modes. So we can have a, almost like a pick, a digging pick. You've got another mode here where I don't have to, bend straight down. It's more ergonomic, like this. And I've got a third mode where I can put the blade out straight out like this. Okay, so the great thing about a folding shovel is this. There's about 1,000,001 uses for a folding shovel out in the wilderness, Whether you're hiking, and this is not too heavy to carry, and I'll show you the pouch system a bit later on, or whether you've got it in a vehicle. I grew up in a family where my dad always had a folding shovel in the back of the car. Now, we didn't, growing up, we couldn't afford a four-wheel drive, but that didn't stop my dad taking me out into the wilderness like this, and believe it or not, even on a dry riverbed, you can see we're on a bit of a dry riverbed like this, it didn't stop my dad taking a car along these things. We nearly destroyed the family car, but we always had a folding shovel, because once or twice we really needed it to dig the back of the, the tires out, to prop it so we could get out of a bit of a boggy situation. But yeah, so folding shovels, if you're in the know, you just got to have one for outdoors work. All right, let's have a closer look at this one now. Okay, so what is this thing made out of? Well, firstly, coming from Fox FKMD in Italy, you'd have to expect it's made out of some good quality material. So the blade is actually stainless steel. It's 420J stainless. This is not a non-stainless. This is a stainless steel, so it's going to last. You can see it's got heavily riveted. There's no this is not spot welded. A lot of cheap shovels are spot welded. This is not spot welded. This is heavily riveted. 3 heavy rivets on here. And you say, okay, wait on, there's plastic parts on here. No, this is not ordinary plastic. This is glass reinforced nylon. This stuff is really strong. And just look at the reinforcing ribs in here. You've got a good grip on the handle, okay? And you've got big pins here. And all these pins can be, if you have to, adjusted with a Torx wrench. There's a push button thing here. You see this thing here, right? That locks it in there. There's a pin that locks this in. Now, if I push that in, I can turn it to that position and it locks it. I push it in again. It's easy to do, and turn it into, it locks it into there like that. You see that? So simple. And the same goes for the handle here. Even if you, don't know what you're doing, it's got closed, the direction, which is this direction, and open. So I push this button in, it's got push, you push it in, and you just close it around like that. So I could close it and keep it in that position even in this position like this, with the handle, somewhat out of my way. I could use this as a hand trowel, even like that. That's easy enough to use like a hand trowel, but normally what you would do is you would just close this up like this, and I hope you can see that there, and just fold this around like that, and that's it. And it comes in a great Molle packet. So that's it there. It's really compact. I'm not looking for worms now, but okay, so I was out looking for some worms. We're trying to do a bit of fishing. What better than to have a folding shovel with you to do it? I've got one worm here. We've got to find some rubbish around the river, I hate to say, to put some worms in. I found lots of worm holes here, so I know there's lots of worms in here. Okay, so I just want to wash this thing off. Easy peasy to clean up. Stainless steel, so I'm not worried about getting the blade wet or moist. 420J is more than good enough with a good corrosion resistance. There you go. Easy. Let's move on. Okay, here we are in one of my favorite prospecting places, and I've got this FKMD shovel with me, and this is the bag here. So the shovel just comes in here. It's a very well stitched bag that came with the shovel. Lots of Velcro, lots of heavy stitching. All the stitching is protected, seams are protected on the inside. Anyway, here's the shovel, and we've been out doing found some really great blood jasper chunks here. But in this bank, you know, we'll take some samples for some gold. Okay, so I found the shovel is really sturdy, that's for sure. You know, no problem digging holes with it. No problems whatsoever. And the blade, whatever is the coating on there too, is really good. That might have been a snake. There's a few snake holes. There was one over here, right? And but anyway, yeah. So you've got the shovel like this. As I said, you can turn it to like a scraper, like this. Hold on, like this, in this direction, and then you can really scrape with it. I want to say one thing. This is not super thick, this, but I would have expected after bashing into all these rocks around here. This is alluvial rocks, but they're all based from volcanic igneous rocks. They're really hard. This has still kept a really good edge on here. So obviously it's quite hardened up. It's coated underneath it there. Some of the coating's coming off because I've been banging it up. You could expect that. But yeah, what can I say? It's pretty good, and it hasn't clagged up with all the mud in there. This thing works perfectly. When I was working with the mud before, no problems with that on the attachment there. And yeah, I'm really jazzed about it. It's a great folding shovel, and I like the fact too, it's riveted, as I said, 3 strong rivets. It's not, you know, this is a good grip too. It's not a weak spot welding. It's actually riveted, and this is really strong. This does not flex. Yeah, so totally recommend it. Bush camping tools here. Thanks for watching the FKMD foldable shovel. Let me just show you one last time here on this. Right, just fold this baby away, and we go again and again like this, and it just goes straight into the Molle pack. Like that. End of story.